Hi everyone, welcome back to Steel Division. So following on from a couple of previous uh, videos, I'm just going to do a quick review on Panzer Lehr, which came into the fold in Steel Division following the recent upgrade, and compare it to the 16th Luftwaffe. If you look at Phase A, Phase B, Phase C, surprisingly not as powerful or as balanced as you might say as compared to the 16th Luftwaffe, which in combat recon, I think it was 100. In skirmish, it was 150, and then in battle, it was 100. But the Panzer Lehr was quite an elite unit. It was made up of officers, NCOs from the training side, and they'd been responsible for training all the Panzer troops, whether it be commanders, gunners, loaders, drivers, within the Wehrmacht and the SS up until the early 40s, or well into the Second World War. The Panzer was effectively destroyed during the battle, the Allies' breakout of the Bocage in the Battle of Cobra. Um, they were carpet bombed incessantly by the RAF and the US Air Force using Lancasters and B-17 Flying Fortresses, and were effectively destroyed. Although they fought through to the end of the war, and they surrendered when they were encircled in the Ruhr Valley, and their commanding officer disobeyed orders from their high command to fight to the death. All right, so enough of the history. Let's get into the recon. One of the interesting things about the Panzer Lehr is that although it is very, very strong, some of the great tanks or armoured vehicles of the German army during the period of the Second World War, they were very light on in infantry. And when I get to the infantry tab, this will only be further reinforced. But for reconnaissance, yeah, the strut, not too bad. Got a few guys, got plenty of machine guns to put plenty of bullets down range for suppression, but pretty weak in anti-tank. But we'll take some of those. One of the great reconnaissance vehicles of the war was the Puma, 50mm gun. Yeah, armor wasn't too great, but it had a great gun, which more than even matched the M4 Sherman, the original M4. You look at that AP value of 10, range out to 1,000 metres. More than capable of taking out most Allied vehicles um, earlier on, from let's say 43, 44, but it's not a vehicle that can go toe to toe with enemy tanks. So we'll certainly get the Pumas. That'll provide a bit of anti-tank protection for the Strupp infantry, and this is probably the Achilles heel of the Panzer Lehr, is it doesn't have a lot of infantry. But the infantry it has got is elite. You look at it, half tracks, so it's got MG32s, MG34s for protection, and also has within the squad of the Panzer Grenadiers has a Panzer Force for protection from armour. So second phase, B phase, into the skirmish phase. Yep, we need another commander, and this is where we get a bit light on. So we want Panzer Grenadiers, only got 3, so if you look at the Panzer Grenadiers, yep, some machine guns, rifles, 2 MGs, and Panzer Force. Look at the Pioneers where we can get more squads. They got the hand grenade, or the stack grenade, MG 34. So because we can get more squads of the Pioneers, we're going to go for the Pioneers because they are very light on in infantry. And it's a shame really because if this game was to go for a little bit longer and you had a little bit more versatility, you might be able to get some more infantry in there. Now, the cream of the crop, the tanks. So, yep, we've got elite Panzer Mark IVs, the H's. We'll get one of those. Uh, Phase B, yep, we'll get some more Panzer Mark IV H's, which are veterans but not elite. In Phase B, we'll also get the Tiger. Everyone loves the Tiger. You look at that, the 88 Mark 36 gun, which initially came off the Flak 36 anti-tank, anti-aircraft gun, range out to 1,200 metres, AP value of 15. great vehicle. So we will definitely get the elite Panzer Mark 6s, or the Tigers as they are known. We can get 6 of those. We need to have a Command Panther in Phase B as well. And then we're looking down at Phase C. This is where everyone, when they play Panzer Lehr, want to be. So we will get 2 King Tigers. Let's get some elite Panthers. No, we'll go for quantity, I think, for the Panthers. Now, the Panther had the L70, 75mm high velocity anti-tank gun. It was also quick firing, but interestingly enough, the damage that it did was nowhere near as high as the 88 on the Tiger and the King Tiger. But it did have the sloped armour as compared to the Panzer Mark IV-H and the Tiger E, but didn't compare to the King Tiger. So we'll get another King Tiger, and if you look at the Panther D, oh, I just put them in by accident then, let's take them back out. AP value of 17, look at the armour, 13 up front, 5 and 5 side and rear, not too bad. Look at the Panther A, 14 on the front as compared to the Panther D. So I will go 4 of the Panther A's. So that does the tanks. Support. Now you can get the ghillie or the grilly, but it's only got a range of 1,000 meters. So effectively, you've got to put it within close range of Allied anti-tank guns, especially the 17-pounder if you're playing against the British or the Scottish or the Canadians. So I like to make sure that we've got plenty of supply trucks. The reason for that is I do like the artillery to help the infantry out that do get battered quite a bit if they get too engrossed in close in combat, and also the flame half track. Very, very useful vehicle if you're in city areas or urban areas where the restricted range of the flame can still do its damage and still give some protection to the half track. Anti-tank, yep, definitely go the Panzer tracks to help out the infantry. We'll go for the Pak 40. Got some Jag Panzers, and that'll do those. Anti-aircraft, well, there's only one that I'm really going to look at. I'll wait till Phase B and Phase C and get out the Flak 41s, 88mm, yep, devastating against aircraft, but also can provide support to the land forces in an anti-tank role. Artillery, I'm going to start from this backwards, going to go for a Hummel. I want a Weps, and in Phase A, we've got the mortars, range for 1,200 meters. Might go for those as no, I won't go for those because in the aircraft I need to have the Stork for reconnaissance. I need to have an M109 for air superiority, and I'm going to have to drop a unit. Recon, might have to drop a Panther. Alright, go back to the air, and we need some Fokker Wolfs just for some air capability. So if we have a look at that, we now have a little bit short in artillery, I think, but um, given the rate of fire of the Hummel, 3 rounds a minute, a suppression value of 27 can be very, very useful, considering that the Panzer Grenadiers are undermanned. It wouldn't take much of an assault in an urban area for them to be overwhelmed, so they provide some backup to the infantry by having some heavy artillery there. I could have gone for the Nubelwerfer, but 1600 meters range as against 2800 provides a lot more flexibility across the battlefield. So there you go. There's my battle group for Panzer Lehr. It is probably a little heavy in tanks, but that's what you'd expect historically from the Panzer Lehr. but for the restricted activation points that you get for this unit, it's about as balanced as you can get. But I hope you have a look, try it out, get back to me, see what you think. There's lots and lots of different varieties. You know, how you set your battle group up really reflects on how you intend to play. But until next time, this is the Major out. Bye bye.